Hey there, challenge fans! It may still be quarantine season across most of the world, but we've found ways to explore more of the world's mysteries with your favorite lab rat. We've been concerned with the toll sitting at home all day has had on the health of everyone's favorite guinea pig, so we're tasking him with keeping his physical fitness up with 30 days of running. What kind of impact will this have on your health? Is it a good way to lose weight? Stay tuned and find out. Day 1. Running. I hate running. I believe I've famously made that opinion quite clear, and so naturally Infographics decides that now I'll have to do it every day for 30 days. Honestly, I should have just kept my mouth shut. I guess the quarantine has seriously sapped the creativity of the Infographics team. How many challenges can you really do while stuck at home? Alright, we all know that running is healthy. Basically, everyone recommends it as a way to lose weight, boost your stamina, and get in shape. I've done plenty of running in my time. I spent years doing it in the military, and I feel like I've fulfilled my running quota for life. So while the girlfriend goes running every morning 5 days a week, I skip the cardio most of the time. Not anymore though, and nobody's happier about me picking up a serious running habit than the girlfriend, who is constantly pushing me to join her. Congrats, babe. Wish granted. Oh, I've heard that running barefoot like our ancestors is much better for your health, so stay tuned for week 4 when I try that out. Alright, I'll start off easy at a mile a day, then gradually tack on more and more distance as I feel that my stamina increases. I hate to admit it, but I really have been kind of sitting on my butt during this whole quarantine, so I'm a pretty good test subject for this. My physical fitness has definitely been lacking. So just how good is running really for your health? Let's find out. End of week 1. The thought of waking up early and running was dreadful, so I decided I would not be joining the girlfriend for her morning runs, and on the first day I put it off until about noon. That proved to be a mistake, since summer is officially here and LA is really heating up. The next day I fixed that mistake and gladly woke up early to run with the girlfriend at about 6 a.m. You know what I hate about running? It's the most boring exercise you can do. I mean, it's not like lifting weights is super entertaining, but you only have to do it for really short amounts of time. Unlike running, where you spend 20 or 30 minutes just running. Maybe if they can make a VR app where you're being chased by terrorists or Bigfoot, now that can make running exciting and maybe a little fun. Also probably terrifying. But seriously, if anyone out there makes VR apps, you know that running away from Bigfoot app would be a gold mine. Get on it. Alright, other than boring, running is absolutely exhausting, and I truly do hate it from the bottom of my heart. The girlfriend always talks about a runner's high, and I think she's just a regular old high, because I've never so much as experienced a single moment of joy while running. I've been starting with a modest goal of running a mile, and that's good too, because I'm practically ready to vomit by the time I get to the mile mark. I didn't even bother to time myself. No point in embarrassing myself further. I used to run like a 6-minute mile when I was in the military, but I was also in far greater shape. One thing I do miss though is singing cadences while running in formation. It's weird how your brain kind of gets lulled into this sense of hypnosis when you're with a group and singing cadences as you push yourself from your 4th to 5th straight mile of running, of course with a ruck full of rocks and sandbags. Oh, by the way, that's a great way to get back problems later in life. Believe that. So after a week of running, I decided to weigh myself and discovered I'd lost 2 pounds. Not bad for really not having changed my diet at all. I'd put on a little, plush during quarantine, and the girlfriend's been having fun poking at it. So I'm looking forward into getting back into normal shape. I guess I really have been lacing it up while everyone's stuck at home. See you guys at the end of week 2. End of week 2. I've started listening to military cadences on my headphones as I run, though I've kept myself from actually yelling them out and making everyone around me think I'm crazy. What is crazy though is I kinda miss the old days, and that's something I never thought I'd say. The cadences really help, though I don't know what help they would be for you if you've never been in the situation for real. I think you need to feel that sense of camaraderie and shared anguish to really get it, but I could be wrong. If running is as boring to you as it is to me, maybe try it out. Like I said, the rhythm of the cadences really does lull you into a weird hypnosis, and you just sort of keep running despite how tired you are. I really surprised myself. After my first week, I was able to bump it up to 1.5 miles, but after only 2 days, it was clear I could go a lot further and just jumped straight up to 2 miles. The girlfriend says that it's muscle memory from my old days, but I'm not so sure that's scientific. She claims that when she is involved in a really long production and doesn't have time to exercise regularly, she can bounce back really fast thanks to muscle memory. I just think she has great genes. I told her that and then followed it up with, and what's inside them ain't bad either, and smacked her on her blue jeans covered butt, and she punched me in the arm, really hard, because we were in public. Alright, other than nursing a bruised bicep, I've been hitting the running track every day this week and it's gotten a lot easier. I think that's the way with any exercise though. Once you get over the initial hump, it smooths out and exercise gets so much easier to do and to want to do. So hey, I know that there's some of you watching this right now that are dealing with that hump. Just do it. Force yourself to do it. Push yourself for 2 to 3 weeks and I promise you'll see the results and you'll realize you're over the hump. Don't quit. I believe in you. I lost another 3 pounds this week, and again, that's without any special diet changes, literally just running. I imagine that if I was overweight and trying to lose weight with diet and exercise, the pounds would really be coming off. I guess I can't deny running is a great exercise for losing weight. End of week 3. I don't know if I've yet to discover this runner's high that the girlfriend speaks of, but I definitely have gotten to like pushing myself further and further. I decided that the running track was too boring, going around in circles was driving me nuts, so I instead jogged over to the beach and thought I'd run along in the sand. Thing is, I forgot how hard it is to run in sand, so I very quickly went back to running along the street next to the beach. On the first day of this 3rd week, I decided I'd push myself to see where my limits currently are, and I used my phone to track myself. Running on the street was much better than running stupid circles at the track and a lot more entertaining. I was shocked to discover I had run nearly 5 miles before reaching what I'd call the absolutely breaking down, can't take another step status. Of course, it was shortly thereafter that I realized I would have to either run or walk back those exact same 5 miles because I wasn't on a track anymore. Instead, I called an Uber, and I'm pretty sure my driver knew exactly what had just gone down. So, pushing myself to my limits proved to be a terrible idea, as I so often discover long after the deed is done. My legs cramped hardcore. I'm talking Charlie horses on Charlie horses, and if there's a more painful type of muscle cramp, please let me know in the comments. Except, of course, period pains. That's right, ladies, I got your back. Hashtag lady pains. You know what though, I'm glad I pushed myself to the brink. Sometimes you just have to push yourself as hard as you can and find out exactly where your limits are. Running the next day, however, after those severe muscle cramps was bad news, and I only managed a half mile. I needed time to rest, but I needed to keep up the challenge, so that day and the next I kept it to half a mile. Then settled into a 3-mile run. That's pretty close to the 3.5 miles to 4 miles my girlfriend runs every day, so I'm catching up and it only took 3 weeks. Kinda proud of myself. I lost another 1.5 pounds and I think my weight loss is slowing down because I was never overweight to begin with. I don't really think there's much more left to lose that isn't, well, normal. End of week 4. Challenge complete. 4 weeks of running every day in the bag. I did some rough math and I think I ended up running something like 80 miles this month. That's like a third of the way from LA to Vegas. My leg muscles are hard as steel rods and my calves are absolutely popping like a soccer player. The girlfriend definitely likes that. I think it's weird how girls are attracted to calf muscles, but they really are. Go figure. For this week I settled into a 4-mile run, and while it never got fun, it definitely got easier. I think the hardest part is just telling your brain to shut up, it's time to run, and the sooner you do it, the sooner it's over. I don't know about any runner's high, I think that's just a myth, though the girlfriend swears by it. I do have to admit it feels nice after the run. You feel good about yourself and your life choices, beat sitting on the couch doing nothing by a long shot. I did try something new this week though, I ran barefoot. I've always been curious about doing it, and it's long had a sort of weird appeal for me ever since I found out about the Tarahumara Indians from Mexico. These guys can run for dozens of miles at a time, apparently even for hundreds of miles, and they do it completely barefoot or with very basic sandals on. I did more research on it and it turns out that most modern shoes are actually really bad for running in. Even those super expensive ones that Nike and Adidas charge you $100 for. All that artificial padding and other crap really severely affects the way your foot and leg muscles interact with the ground, while having just a plain old sandal or just barefoot can make running safer by avoiding injury and make it have less impact on your body. Turns out that nature finally tuned our feet for running over millions of years, and over the course of like a century we thought we could do a better job. Talk about human arrogance. Alright, so you know what? I kind of liked running barefoot. The difference wasn't immediately obvious, and yes, it did hurt running along the street barefoot. Luckily, we live in a very nice neighborhood next to the beach, so our streets aren't littered with broken glass and other crap, and traffic is light, but there's still plenty of rocks and pebbles to step on. But if you can weather it, you can learn to ignore it, just like our ancestors did in the bush when they chased down prey. By my 3rd day of doing it, I barely even noticed it anymore, though the girlfriend was very concerned about ringworm and made me scrub my feet thoroughly every time I returned. That's a good idea. Your feet get crazy dirty. It's hard to explain. While running barefoot may give you funny looks, it just feels better, more natural, and I noticed I was a lot less sore afterwards. I honestly think there's something to the science of running barefoot, and I'd recommend you try it even if it's just on a track. So how's my month of running been? Well, I lost a good amount of weight and I'm in pretty good shape. Hard to argue with the results, really. All that quarantine flab is gone and my stamina's through the roof. I have to say, I hate it a little less than I used to, but I don't really think I'll be making it a daily routine anymore now that I don't have to. However, I kind of think I'm gonna do it maybe 3 or 4 times a week, and all of it barefoot. Like I said earlier, the hardest part about any exercise is just getting over that hump. You gotta dig deep and just push through it, but I promise you can get on the other side of it and nothing feels better when you start seeing results. So if you're just watching and thinking of starting an exercise routine or struggling to maintain one, just push as hard as you can and take it day by day. I promise after a few weeks you'll start to see results and then it kind of becomes an addiction. And if you're doing this running challenge, please email us and let us know how it went. I love hearing all your guys' stories about self-improvement. For now, I'll catch you guys in the next challenge. Ready for more fitness challenges? Check out I did push-ups for 30 days and this is what happened, or check out this other video instead.